The words and actions from President Trump and the Department of Homeland Security have shown that this is an attack on our democracy. I stand with our senators, representatives, and our state, county, and city leaders in denouncing their presence. Over the past week, President Trump has used our city as a staging ground to further his political agenda, igniting his base to cause further divisiveness, and in doing so, endangering Portlanders.
Officers are investigating a shooting that, according to family, left a teen girl dead.
She didn't deserve this. Nobody deserves this, and I don't wish death on nobody's child.
The violence in Southeast Portland comes just hours after another deadly shooting, this time outside a club in Southwest Portland. In widely shared posts on social media, the victim's family claims their loved one, who was black, was called a racial slur before the shooting. Authorities refute that, saying they've interviewed multiple witnesses, and at this time there is no information to suggest race played a role.
The words and actions from President Trump and the Department of Homeland Security have shown that this is an attack on our democracy.
What is clear is that we've seen a startling number of shootings this month. As of midday Thursday, Portland police had responded to 29 shootings in July. That compares to only 8 during the same time frame last year. That's a 262% increase. Listen to this. Officers located more than 24 bullet casings. We're told 2 vehicles had been hit by the gunfire, and inside one of the vehicles, a woman and 4 children. Investigators say a bullet missed the woman's head by inches, and one of the kids was injured by shattered glass from a stray bullet.
Over the past week, President Trump has used our city as a staging ground to further his political agenda, igniting his base to cause further divisiveness, and in doing so, endangering Portlanders.
If you haven't been to downtown Portland for a while, it's a mess. You may not realize it, but this is a common sight the morning after a weekend of riots. There's graffiti in many places, but especially on the base that held the elk statue for more than 100 years, and on the outside of the federal courthouse. And there is frustration among business owners struggling to survive after shutting down for coronavirus, then reopening to chaos.
I talked to the owner of the pawn shop back there, H&B Loans. He didn't want to go on camera, but he definitely had a lot to say. He feels let down by the city leadership. He said he's been here for 50 years. He's never seen it this bad. He wants them to put an end to the destruction immediately. He says that people are afraid to come downtown. Looking around today, it is pretty empty.
At Portland's oldest restaurant, Huber's Cafe, co-owner James Louie told me those who think the destruction is helping the cause are wrong.
Those people, they need to stop. If they think they're helping, they're actually hurting. I mean, mainstream Americans, the silent majority, we're actually kind of tired of seeing these anarchists destroying our city. And we would like to see, the police step up and take care of these people.
President Trump has gone so far as vowing that federal law enforcement will, quote, dominate, unquote, protesters and mobilize federal agencies to operate in cities. This is an explicit abuse of power and places federal officers and Oregonians in danger.
Look at this video posted to social media overnight. You can see protesters lit fires. Police say one business was looted and vandalized, unfortunately, early this morning. About 2 hours ago, they started speeches and rallies at Fernhill Park in Northeast Portland, then made their way here. And this is the live look at MLK and Killingsworth.
Mr. President, federal agencies should never be used as your own personal army. Let's be clear, this is not political theater. This is far more dangerous than that. We have federal officers on our streets further escalating tensions and causing harm to Portlanders right now. Mr. President, we see right through you. We see what you're doing. So do us a favor. Keep your troops in your own buildings or have them leave our city.
My question is for the mayor. The federal government says that they wouldn't have come into the city if city leaders had gotten a handle on the riots. What's your plan to get a handle on the violence? And you say that we can handle it better than the feds can. But we haven't heard or seen a plan to stop vandalism or the riots even prior to the federal government or federal officers getting into town.
And what we saw was the numbers were dwindling, the energy in the crowd was decreasing, and people were moving elsewhere to do other things. Then the feds came in on the heels of some really inflammatory public messaging coming out of Washington, D.C., from the president directly, as well as the Department of Homeland Security. And they blew the whole thing back up again.
Mark Morgan, good morning, Mr. Commissioner. The third time this week you've had to declare a riot in Portland. What's going on there?
Well, I'll tell you, Griffin, these are not protesters. These are criminals who got together and organized and planned and actually brought weapons. They brought shields. They brought frozen water bottles, rocks, lasers, weapons with the intent to destroy a federal building and harm law enforcement officers. And I can tell you, for one, I'm glad that this President of the United States understands the importance of law and order and that it's a cornerstone of American society. What we saw in Portland last night was criminal, and we stood strong with our federal partners to resist that.
What are you doing? Use your words. What are you doing? Use your words. What are you doing? Use your words. What is going on? Who are you? NLG will get you out. What's your name? Tell us your name.
What's your name?
Okay, you're fine. We'll get you out.
Bro, what? All right.
We got you, friend.
We got you.
You just violated their rights.
You just violated their rights. Oh, hey,
Do you understand me? Well, get the fuck out. Do you understand me? Get up! I wasn't trying to do that. Get up! You have get the fuck out. Hey, shit, get the fuck out of here. You're so straight into the ground. That's on video! Hit the door!
As you can hear behind me, it's a chaotic situation. We have flashbangs going off as federal law enforcement officers have started engaging with the crowd, and we see a lot of gas smoke just billowing out of the area by the federal building there.
Absolutely, Griff. Early this morning, in fact, I just got this situation report a few minutes ago, is that one of the criminals that were actually trying to assault one of the CBP employees while he was being arrested, the report right now is telling us that a pipe bomb, a fused incendiary device, and a machete was actually discovered during that search. Think about that, Griff. Think about the deadly consequences from these criminal actions. And also, I hope your listeners get out there and see some video. There's a video where a woman is overheard confronting one of the agents there, and she refers to it as, hey, I know this game. I'm on a city sidewalk. There's nothing that you can do. And she goes further and says, why don't you go back where you came from, white boy? That's what this is, Griff. It's a game to them. It's a deadly game, but serious. This is about law and order. We must be united. Where are the local political leaders, Griff, standing up saying this is unconscionable, this is wrong, and these individuals should cease and desist and be arrested? Where are they?